We're back to talk about another DM's Guild module. This time, if you're familiar with Ioun Stones, as they are included in the Dungeon Master's Guide, have you ever wanted more than just those few? How about 101 more? So if you want to see what this 101 Ioun Stones module is all about, stay tuned. Ioun Stones, activate! Here we are on the DM's Guild. As a reminder, there will be a link in the description down below if you'd like to pick up a copy of this for yourself. As you can see, it is $4.95 to pick this up. I will also say that the folks behind it did give this to me for review purposes, but as with any time that happens on DM's Guild, I'm going to give you the story like it is, and I'll tell you if I like it or I don't like it. It only has one rating, but that rating is 5 stars. It came out in early July, and it's essentially what you think it would be. It's 101 different Ioun Stones. There's only a very limited selection in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and then a couple extra ones were added in the Lost Laboratory of Koalish Adventure. But if we go to the PDF right here, I'm just going to go through and give you some. I don't think I have a specific number. They are broken down into different categories, as you can see here, right? Abjuration and defense, divination and language, enchantment and control, evocation damage and elemental, healing conditions, death prevention, illusion, movement, and modifier bonuses, perception tracking, race-based, role-playing miscellaneous, spellcasting and spell slots, and then transmutation effects. So I think the ones that I'm personally most interested in out of this entire list are the race-based ones, because that's something we've never seen before, or at least I haven't. Maybe they have existed in previous editions, but I was unaware. So if you look at the abjuration ones, they have kind of what you'd imagine. I like this one, Avoidance. It's legendary. It essentially gives you the evasion ability, but for anything that when you make a saving throw to take damage. So this would be if it's a strength, dex, con, wisdom, whatever kind of saving throw where you would take damage. If you fail, you take half on the saving throw, and if you succeed, you take none. And let's keep going. So divination, I like this one, this divulgence. Basically, it gives you almost like a Rary's telepathic bond. If you and up to 9 other creatures are within 50 feet of you, you can telepathically communicate. What's interesting is because the stone only has to orbit your head, and then you and 9 other creatures can communicate together, and I like that. And also this uncommon one, location. While it's orbiting your head, you know the shortest path to any location you have been to in the last 24 hours. Obviously, that's less important until I would imagine when you get something like teleportation, where you could be at a place, teleport out and go somewhere else, and if you needed to get back and didn't have access to magic, you'd know, okay, we got to go this way to get back there. Or if you'd seen something, and you've been to a place and you just passed through and you needed to go back, it would work like that. Okay. So the elemental ones, the damaging ones, I like this first one, just catapult. It's really simple. As a bonus action, you can shoot a bead of energy out at a creature. They make a DC 15 dex saving throw or take 3d8 force damage. Now, they don't take half on a success, so it is just the damage. But it essentially gives you like a permanent bonus action catapult spell, is the way I'm interpreting it, especially with the name. And that's pretty cool to just have access to something you wouldn't have. Reminder, Ioun Stones are attunement, so maybe it's not in the grand scheme of things, but this is, even though it's a very rare item, I feel like giving this to someone early on wouldn't be too bad. And you see a lot of these will add damage types, like this Elemental Aptitude will add a +2 bonus to a spell's damage total. This one is +3, and it basically you roll and determine what it is. And it says creatures that hit, this one here, static creatures that hit you with a melee take 2d4 lightning, or take 2d4 lightning damage. So there's a variety of different things. I really like out of these healing ones, they obviously have ones that alter that. They have one that kind of gives you a lay on hands. But this rejuvenation one, you cure 1 level of exhaustion every 4 hours. That could be one really good just on in general, but like someone like a berserker barbarian could make a lot of good use out of that. Then we have illusionary ones, and I don't think I was too thrilled by the illusion ones, just because I'm not a huge personally a big fan of illusions myself. So then there was movement-based ones and modifier bonuses. This one gives you a swim speed, bonuses to different saving throws, Yes, +1 to strength saving throw, +1 to charisma saving throw. I don't know if I'd want to be taking an Ioun Stone that's going to just give me a +1 to a saving throw for an attunement slot, when in theory I could get like a Ring of Protection that's going to give me a +1 to all saving throws for an attunement slot. Again, this is, I mean, the +1 to a saving throw is better than nothing, but just in the grand scheme of things. I wouldn't really, perception and tracking. One of them gives you true sight after 30 feet. All right, now we're down to the race ones. Now these ones I'm very interested in because we really don't know what we're gonna get. So let's take a look around here. They have, let's see, Warforged, Dragonborn, certain Genasi, Hobgoblin, Azamar, Bugbear, Tiefling, Goliath, Earth Genasi, Gith Yankee, Gith Zerai, Water Genasi, Triton, Lizard Folk, Aarakocra. So obviously everybody loves Tieflings in 5th edition, so let's look at the Tiefling. You can communicate telepathically with any fiend and understand at least one language to a range of 60 feet, or that understands one language. You are considered proficient when making charisma checks to interact with that fiend. In addition, you can tap into the stone's energy as an action to summon an imp, which obeys your commands for 10 minutes before vanishing once per long rest. Actually, I'm not that crazy about it. The Azamar one looks like an item that I actually gave to one of my players. Your Healing Hands feature can heal a number of hit points equal to twice your level and can be used as a bonus action. The item that I had given my player was all of their Azamar abilities could be activated as a bonus action, which in my mind I feel makes them a lot more useful. But I like doubling the hit points that you can heal, and that can almost give your Azamar a little healing, which is pretty cool. Let's check the other Genazis. I want to specifically see Earth and Air because they kind of got shafted in the grand scheme of like water and fire having a lot. So for Air, you can use a bonus action to target a creature within 20 feet. That chosen creature doesn't need to breathe for a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier. Once you use this feature, you must use a short rest before you can use it again. Okay, so that one I actually don't think is that useful. It's a bonus action to do that, but still. And then Earth, bonus action to grant one creature you can see within 30 feet your Earth Walk feature for a Constitution number of rounds. I'm not super thrilled about either of those, if I'm being honest. Let's try the Triton one. Let's see, you can take the dash action as a bonus action on each of your turns. The extra movement from this dash action can only be used to swim. Okay, so some of them I was pumped about, some of them not so much. Then we have role-playing and miscellaneous, things like bonus to initiative rolls. This one gives you proficiency with all tools, which is kind of interesting. This one makes you a robot, automaton. You only need 4 hours to gain the benefit of a long rest instead of 8, the restfulness one. Vigilance is you don't need to sleep, but you still need 8 hours to rest. Spellcasting and spell slots. These ones look pretty complicated, although this Sanguination one, when you deal damage with a spell, you can spend a number of hit dice equal to half your level to increase the damage dealt affected by that amount. That's pretty neat. And then transmutation effects. Let's see. This one just gives you, I think, mending. You can create non-magical objects that fit in your hand. And this one makes you immune to slow and time stop. Grow some claws, telekinesis, and so on. Again, this one was just going to kind of be a quick video. I never really, I'll be honest with you, I never thought I needed an explanation or an expansion, rather, of Ioun Stones because they're usually, honestly, just something I don't typically give out that often in my games. Not to say that I don't like them. I just don't give them out, especially in 5th edition. I remember in older editions, they didn't take a slot because they orbited your head like an item slot, so they were coveted for that purpose. But, with these additional 101, this might make me want to add these in. And, from reading through them, they do vary in effects from pretty powerful to not so much. So I don't think there's anything wrong with adding them in. And, it's a pretty good resource if you want to use them, or maybe Ioun plays a big part in your campaign, so these stones would be super important. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. A big shout out once again to my good friend LB Hackemup, who helped me do the intro bit that you saw back when we recorded those when she was here. There'll be links to LB's social media and all that good stuff in the description, or Twitch channel and YouTube and whatnot. You can also catch her and I playing every Wednesday night on my Twitch channel in our Rod of Seven Parts campaign. So I get to be a player, so that's always fun. I'm playing a Jedi. She's playing a rogue kind of mob boss. And yeah, thank you again to my patrons on Patreon for continuing to support the channel. Oh, and my Start Playing folks who keep signing up for my Start Playing account. Thank you all for doing that as well. I guess I'll put a link to my Start Playing account in the description going forward too. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.